What is the story of Chanukah? Hi, I'm Dr. James Holt, and Chanukah is the festival that draws on the story of Judah the Maccabee and the events during the 2nd century BCE, when the Maccabean revolt, also known as the Hasmonean Rebellion or Civil War, freed Judea and Jerusalem from the rule of the Seleucid Empire, and more particularly, it enabled the Second Temple to be rededicated. Under the Seleucid Empire, the Jews in Judea had been generally able to follow their own traditions. But Josephus records that Antiochus IV Epiphanes invaded Jerusalem and came upon the Jews with a great army and took their city by force and slew a great multitude, and sent out his soldiers to plunder them without mercy. He also spoiled the temple and put a stop to the constant practice of offering a daily sacrifice as expiation for 3 years and 6 months. There is the suggestion that Antiochus was intervening in a dispute between different factions of Jews, some of whom wanted a Hellenizing of the traditions and beliefs. These were known as Tobiads, who'd been expelled from Jerusalem. But whatever the cause, Antiochus went further when he outlined Judaism and subjugated Jews. In 167 BCE, he compelled the Jews to dissolve their laws of their country, to keep their infants uncircumcised, and to sacrifice swine's flesh on the altar. He also ordered an altar dedicated to Zeus be built in the temple. This was not taken well by the Jews, and Mattathias, one of the priests who lived in a village called Modin, along with his 5 sons Johanan, Simeon, Eleazar, Jonathan, and Judah, later known as Judah Maccabee, Judah the Hammer, led a rebellion against Antiochus and his occupying force. In 166 BCE, Mattathias died, and Judah began to lead the rebellion. In 164, the rebellion was successful, despite the Jewish armies being vastly outnumbered. The temple was retaken and dedicated. The rededication was a process, and there was a question about whether it would be presumptuous for humans to restore the temple, when it should have been the prerogative of the Almighty. The Maccabees waited, but in the meantime removed the idol of Zeus at New Year, and the desecrated altar was also removed. It was not smashed, but taken apart as it had been the original altar, and then it was removed. Other elements associated with the desecration were also removed. In rededicating the temple, Maimonides explains, when the Jews overcame their enemies and destroyed them, they entered the sanctuary. This was on the 25th of Kislev. They could not find any pure oil in the sanctuary, with the exception of a single cruse. It contained enough oil to burn for merely 1 day. They lit the arrangement of candles from it for 8 days until they could crush olives and produce pure oil. This was reminiscent of the dedication of the tabernacle by Moses and also of Solomon's temple, which